Hey guys, what is going on? It's Kelly from Baitcasting Fishing. Today I'm bringing you guys a little bit different video. First off, I'm very sorry if the lighting is not adequate to your favor, but I'm out in the garage, I'm in my room. It's nighttime, freezing cold outside. That's besides the point, guys. I am going to be giving you guys a bait casting rod and reel review. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips with the rod and the reel, like line, baits to use, stuff like that. We're going to jump in with the rod first, guys. I'm going to give you guys a couple key tips. I'm going to give you guys the strengths and weaknesses of the rod. Now, the first thing with the rod is it's a Browning Silafex 6'6", medium action rod, one piece. Bought this Bass Pro for about $60, very good deal. But anyway, guys, the first thing that's great about this rod, first thing that's awesome about this rod is it's lightweight. The lightness of the rod really affects how well you do in the day. You fish a heavy rod all day, guys, it's going to hurt your wrist bad. This rod is very light, made for light baits too, and that is the second thing that's great about this rod. Made for light baits. Where I come from in Ohio, we don't fish large baits unless it's spring or fall. In the summer, we fish smaller baits, finesse worms, Senkos, stuff like that. We cannot fish giant swim baits, musky lures. You don't fish stuff like that in Ohio. You fish smaller finesse baits. This rod handles them baits very well. You don't want a very stiff rod when you're fishing smaller baits. It'll just jerk the lure right out of their mouth. Excuse me. This rod is very flexible. You can see right here, it's just flexible. You don't want a stiff rod when you're fishing smaller baits. Another thing about this rod is the size. The size of this rod is very good. I find it adequate enough to fulfill my fishing needs. Now, another thing about this rod, guys, third thing, is its capability with light line. This rod, it flows through the guides like they're nothing. Just flows through them. It's really a great thing with this rod, guys. The line shoots out. It's not very hard to fish at all. First bait casting rod I've ever owned. Now, the fourth thing is its capability to fish soft plastic baits or jigs. Jigs are an exception. This rod is my favorite for fishing soft plastics. I won't even fish spinning rods. I'll fish this over it because of the softness of the rod like I mentioned before. It's a very soft rod. This bait is great for fishing soft plastics. Top water too. That includes frogs, buzz baits, anything like that. It's great. What it does, it's not stiff. It doesn't jerk it out of the mouth. It gives you time to set the hook on them. It'll bend a lot more than a stiff rod. That's very great. So, now we're going to move on to the reel, guys. The reel I got here is a Shimano Cajus. I have it on the left hand because that's what I am, left-handed. Like I said, it's by Shimano, guys. It's a very good reel. Again, I bought this at Bass Pro for about 60, 70 bucks. I think they actually recently went out of production with the left-handed models, and I got the last one, display model. But anyway, the thing I love about this bait caster, guys, is just like the rod. I mean, the first thing I love, capability with light line. Great with light line. Oh my gosh. I fish 6-pound monofilament or 8-pound fluorocarbon on this reel. It handles it like a monster. It's crazy how good it handles light line. Most people fish 20, 30-pound braid on bait casters. I fish 8-pound line on this thing. Same thing about the reel is its gear speed. Its gear speed is very good. I don't know for sure what it is, guys. I apologize for that. But the gear speed is very good. What I'll do is, like I said, I like to fish soft plastics on this. So I'll cast out there to a bed or something. I'll see my line start twitching. And it only takes about 4 or 5 cranks to get that line up, then you set the hook. I mean, it's very good reaction time. And with frog fishing, you cast way out there, something blows up on your frog, you reel in really quick, set the hook. It's great with that. So now we're going to go into some weaknesses, guys. Weakness with the rod. As you know, it's a very soft rod. Not the density-wise, it's a soft rod and the hook set-wise. Soft rod means you cannot do things like you would with bigger fish. Now, that's very confusing for me to say it like that, but what I'm trying to say is you cannot punch with this rod. You cannot punch the baits. You can't fish in heavy cover with this rod. I mean, you can fish in heavy cover, you know what I mean. I mean, you cannot punch this bait with this rod. You can't just stick it down and just set the hook. It'll snap the rod quick. Now, another thing about this rod is its braid capability. It's not very good with braid. What it does with braid is, since it has no stretch and the flimsiness of the rod, it'll just yank it right out of its mouth. It's very difficult to fish braid on that. That is the second thing that is wrong with this rod. Now the reel. The reel doesn't have very much things wrong with it, guys. I mean, I love the reel. I love how it looks. I love how it handles. It's a great reel. I don't think it really has anything wrong with it other than its capability with heavy line. I don't like fishing heavy line. Like I said, I come from Ohio, so we don't fish heavy line up here very much unless you're fishing like lily pads or something. But capability with heavy line is very slim. I don't like fishing heavy line on this because it tangles and backlashes very easily. And that's, I mean, that can be a strength and weakness for this reel too. I mean, it backlashes sort of easy, but then again it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of balanced out. So now we're gonna fish, or we're gonna talk about what lures to fish on this combo, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. All right, guys. And the first bait that I love to fish on this rod and reel setup is, of course, soft plastics. And my first soft plastic bait of choice is the Zoom Straight Tail Finesse Worm, the Berkley Power Bait Straight Tail Finesse Worm as well. This is in watermelon seed. This is in June bug. Now, I love to fish these two baits right here, guys, because of their versatility. You can fish them near the bank. You can fish them offshore. They're so much fun to fish. Weightless is key on this rod. You'll see your lines are going out. The fast gear ratio will help you set that hook quick. Those are my favorite baits to fish on my setup. Now, second favorite bait I like to fish on my setup is a Bass Pro Shops XPS rattle trap or rattle bait, however you want to say it, lipless crankbait. I don't really care how you want to say it, but this is in chartreuse bluegill. Right there, that's a sweet bait. Love to fish this thing on my setup. What I do is I do a yo-yo pattern. So I kind of like rip it off the bottom, let it sink, rip it off the bottom. That's really good for crappie and smallmouth. And then you can rip it over shallow sand flats as well. That is also great. Second bait that I love to fish on my bait casting setup is a weedless frog. This right here is the scum frog. This is in watermelon seed. I love to fish these frogs. I have a whole video on it if you want to go watch it. I'll probably put a link down below about frog fishing. But I love fishing these in pre-spawn. Oh my god, it's so much fun. Just blow up on it. It's freaking sweet. That is a scum frog. I love fishing that on my setup because of the fast gear ratio, and the soft rod also compensates for the hook set. Third bait I like to fish is the buzz bait. My gosh, guys, buzz baits are freaking sweet. I'm sorry I messed up. I meant this is 4. Of course, I can't count. Buzz baits are sweet to fish on this rod, again, because of the delayed reaction time of the rod. How soft it is, so you can actually have time to set the hook. This is a Booyah Pond Buzz, and that's in like bleeding shad. I don't know, some red. Alright, guys. Fourth bait, love to fish on this, is small crankbaits. This KVD 1.5 chartreuse color isn't really a tiny crankbait by any means. It's actually a decent sized crankbait. Love to fish this in the fall. This is more what I'm talking about, small crankbaits, Rebel Weed Crawl. This is a freaking tiny crankbait. As you can see on my finger right there, it's tiny. Nobody, I swear, probably people do not think to fish this on a freaking bait caster. I love fishing them on bait casters. With my small baits on bait casters, that is so much fun. And the last favorite baits I like to fish on a bait caster, guys, is a flippin' and swimming jig. Flipping comes in 6th, and then swimming comes in 7th. I probably have the numbers wrong. Who knows? I'm not very good at counting. Just kidding on that one. Anyway, I like fishing flipping jigs on a soft bait caster because I like just flipping them. I mean, it's fun. This is a Bitsy Bug jig with a net bait packet crawl 1.5 inch. And then my swim jig I like to fish is the Bitsy Boo jig with a shortened weed guard and the net bait packet crawl. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys laughed at my bad counting. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys like this video, drop a comment. Tell me how much you like it because that really makes my day, guys. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.